This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Murder suspect nabbed in Denham Town. A man suspected of being involved in a murder in Lucy, Hanover last year is finally set to face a court after months of being on the run following his arrest in Denham Town, West Kingston on January 14. The man, who has been identified as 23-year-old Mark Winter, otherwise called Natty, of Cascade, Hanover, is accused of the shooting death of 33-year-old Stephen Otti at his home in Cash Hill District, Hanover on Sunday, August 1, 2021. Winter is believed to be one of two men who attacked Otti. Following an interview on Saturday, January 22, Winter was charged with murder. He is scheduled to appear in the Hanover Parish Court on Wednesday, January 26. Early retirement decision overruled on appeal. The Public Service Commission has lost its bid to have the Court of Appeal overturn a High Court decision to reinstate a public servant who was sent on early retirement. The appellate court, in a ruling Friday, indicated that it would only allow in part an appeal brought by the Commission against the full court's decision, which had cancelled the Commission's move to retire the former head of the state-run Court Management Services, Deborah Patrick Gardner. Patrick Gardner, a civil servant for more than 2 decades, was granted 3 years leave starting in September 2013 to pursue a law degree to better carry out her function. Having completed her studies in 2 years, she was attempting to resume her duties when she was informed of the decision. Patrick Gardner, who was at the time 43, was notified by the Commission in May 2016 that she was going to be retired effective June 1. Jacqueline Mendez, then acting Chief Personnel Officer, had advised Patrick Gardner in a letter that she was being retired on the grounds of reorganization in accordance with Section 16(1)(a) of the Pensions Act. Patrick Gardner, who was responsible for setting up CMS, which oversees the administrative operations of the court, was serving then as the Commissioner's principal executive officer. However, following an amendment to the Judicature Act in 2015, the CMS was replaced by the Court Administration Division. Patrick Gardner, however, challenged her forced retirement in the full court, which in April 2018, in an anonymous decision, declared she had been unlawfully retired. The court found then that the manner in which the claimant was purportedly retired was contrary to Section 125(3) of the Constitution, Regulation 26 of the Public Service. The judges also stated in their ruling that the purported reasons given in the letter were irrational. Accordingly, the court granted an order of certiorari to quash the decision purporting to retire the claimant, but the Court of Appeal judges in their ruling disagreed. The manner in which the respondent was retired was not contrary to Regulation 26 of the Public Service Regulations. Regulation 26 is to be interpreted as applying to the retirement of a public officer in circumstances where there is dissatisfaction with a public officer or where a public officer is unsuitable or unfit to remain in the public service, the judges concluded. Patrick Gardner was represented by attorney at law Hugh Wildman. Police find 3 rifles hidden at National Stadium East Field. The police yesterday afternoon seized 3 rifles, magazines, and a cache of ammunition hidden at the National Stadium East Field in St. Andrew. The news understands that the operation is ongoing. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbilly said the seizure is part of the police anti-gang initiative. The weapons, 1 shotgun, 1 AK-47, and 1 Uzi submachine gun, were excavated. A source close to the probe told the news that the weapons were buried in a pipe on the stadium compound. Bailey said the find was made based on intelligence received by the police. The operation was carried out by members of the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, Specialized Operations, the K9 Division, and the Jamaica Defense Force. Sunday's seizure follows the seizure of 20 illegal handguns in St. James on Friday, January 21. Members of the public are encouraged to call the police about wanted men drugs, and illegal firearms. Call Crime Stop at 311, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Councillor Kilimanjaro's proactive approach to crime fighting. Councillor for the Ipswich Division in St. Elizabeth, Prince Mugabe Kilimanjaro, is taking a proactive stance to prevent crime from encroaching into a rural community that is showing early indicators. Kilimanjaro, formerly Wait, is setting up a recording studio to serve Elderslie and the surrounding communities such as Mulgrave, Marywood, Jointwood, Retirement, Niagara, Arcadia, and Johnson. He explained that the purpose of the studio is to serve as an outlet for the musical talent of the young men, occupy their time, and serve as an alternative to gangs and other maladaptive social behavior. The community has come under the police radar in the past, and the councillor wants to ensure that youths there are positively engaged. Additionally, the studio serves as a mechanism through which agencies of the state can engage the youth population through an ordered structure, he told the news. The idea came about from observing that the young men have a lot of musical talent while they were mostly unemployed. The studio would be operated free of cost to aspiring musicians and artists who are registered members of the Elderslie Benevolent Society. The Elderslie Benevolent Society is part of the Community Development Committee in the community of Elderslie. Sponsorship is currently being sought to purchase the necessary equipment for the studio. Additionally, the Social Development Commission is assisting with the development of the project proposal to seek sponsorship for the program. I have reached out to a number of persons who are interested in participating in the program. The intention is to take a community-based approach to the management of the studio, Kilimanjaro said. 11 homeless after Manchester fire. 2 refrigerators, 7 beds, 5 phones, computers, and furniture. Even a pear tree in the yard was scorched. But beyond just the loss of possessions, a fire in the northeast Manchester community of Malton has left 11 individuals, including 6 children, not only homeless but hopeless. Lisa Gavin and her family were visiting the home of a bereaved relative who had recently died when they got the news that fire had ravaged their 6-apartment dwelling, as well as a grocery shop and a bar at approximately 3 p.m. Thursday. By the time they reached home, nothing was left. A distraught Gavin disclosed that it was just weeks ago that she had received assistance from her aunt to replenish stock in her shop. "We have lost every single thing. I used to raise chicken and everything burned," she said. Though Gavin admitted to leaving the house in a rush to grieve with relatives, she doesn't remember leaving anything out of place that could have caused the fire. Deputy Superintendent Rohan Powell of the Mandeville Fire Station said there are plans to engage stakeholders in the central Jamaica parish about fire awareness and control. Gavin revealed that the concrete and the zinc home had been built by her late husband after his father gifted him the land. Now she is left with few options for alternative accommodation. "Right now I am coaching, but it's not ideal as it is just the one room and it's me and my grandson and the other children, and sometimes you inconvenient persons when you are in their home in a small space," Gavin told the news. Besides having a roof over their heads, her greatest wish, she said, is to procure new tablets for her children's schoolwork. The 44-year-old, who said she is not coping well, is hoping to rebuild her life brick by brick. "If I get assistance to rebuild the house, or if I get a government house, anything I get, I would be grateful. I will take any help I get and I appreciate it," she said. To assist Lisa Gavin, call 876-331-7284. Cops hunt 2 other suspects in camera technician's killing. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips, head of the St. Catherine South Police Division, said law enforcers are on the hunt for 2 other suspects for the October 30, 2021 shooting death of flow technician Karen McCullin after his refusal to remove a surveillance camera at his house in Nagahead, Portmore. That revelation came after last week's charging of Dwayne Douglas, 21, one of the suspects. There are some other players who we also have interest in. They are among individuals who are the focus of St. Catharines South gang leaders, persons giving us a warm time in the space, the senior cop said. We are focusing on these persons, knowing we had a rough time last year with murders. Douglas was picked up in an operation just over a week or so ago and interviewed in the presence of his lawyer, Phillips said. Nagahead, Gregory Park, Central Village, and Old Harbor accounted for the majority of last year's 132 murders committed in the expansive St. Catharines South Police Division, which stretches as far east as Ferry, Old Harbor, West Ward, and all of Portmore, including Hellshire, the southernmost tip of the country's biggest parish. Phillips said apart from sparking national outrage, the killing of 39-year-old McCullen has driven fear into residents of Nagahead. There was some amount of fear among law-abiding citizens of the community. Persons were clearly uncomfortable. However, with this recent breakthrough, it will help to reassure the citizens of Nagahead that we're committed to the task. It was certainly welcome news and we are looking forward to further cooperation. Hopefully we will get all the players involved, Phillips said. The senior superintendent pointed out that there has been a spate of motorcycle-assisted robberies and attacks in the division, prompting the mobilization of a special team. Since the start of the year, we have noticed the involvement of motorcyclists in incidents. We've put a team in place to take care of that, Phillips said. One man, a suspect in robberies and a murder, was arrested Friday and the 2 guns seized in a series of operations in Portmore. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.